Let's get right into it. Number 13, the echo chamber effect. Imagine every single one of your opinions being constantly affirmed, amplified, and then handed back to you like a perfectly tailored echo. Sounds cozy, right? Like slipping into a warm bath of self-righteousness where everyone agrees with your every brilliant thought. That, my friends, is the internet's echo chamber in full, terrifying swing. You join a group, follow some accounts, click on a few headlines that align with your worldview, and suddenly, the algorithm, that all-knowing digital puppet master, decides it knows precisely what you want to hear. It then proceeds to spoon-feed you more of the same, day in and day out, until your perception of reality shrinks down to the size of your smartphone screen. You stop seeing opposing viewpoints not because they don't exist, but because the internet actively hides them from you. It's a polite form of censorship, really, where your own confirmation bias is given a rocket booster. Before you know it, you're convinced that everyone thinks just like you do, and anyone who doesn't is clearly insane, stupid, or a lizard person. This isn't just about political opinions either. It seeps into everything: your diet choices, your parenting styles, your preferred brand of sparkling water. The danger isn't just becoming close-minded, it's becoming genuinely surprised, and sometimes enraged, when the real world dares to present a different perspective. It's like living in a soundproofed room your whole life, then walking outside and getting upset that other people are making noise. Number 12, the phantom vibration syndrome. You know that feeling, right? That little buzz in your pocket, that ghost of a notification that sends a jolt through your nervous system, only for you to frantically check your phone and find absolutely nothing. No message, no email, no groundbreaking news about cats taking over the world. Just emptiness. Congratulations, you've experienced the phantom vibration syndrome, and it's less about a faulty phone and more about a deeply rewired brain. Our phones have become such an integrated extension of our being that our brains have basically created a shortcut, a hyper-vigilant alert system that's constantly scanning for incoming digital validation. It's a classic example of operant conditioning, where the intermittent reward of a real notification keeps us perpetually primed for the next one. Your brain, in its infinite wisdom, starts to misinterpret random nerve signals, muscle twitches, or even the rustle of your clothes as that coveted buzz. It's like your nervous system is playing a cruel prank on you, turning your own body into a false alarm system, all because you're subconsciously desperate for that hit of dopamine only a new message can deliver. We've essentially trained ourselves to hallucinate our phones. Number 11, the digital footprint trap. Ever think about all those cringeworthy things you posted in high school? Or that ill-advised comment from 5 years ago? Good news, the internet remembers. Oh, how it remembers. Your digital footprint isn't just a faint trail in the sand. It's a giant, flashing neon sign broadcasting every questionable decision, every off-the-cuff remark, and every poorly chosen meme you've ever uploaded. We live in an age where a quick Google search can unearth the archaeological remains of your entire online existence. And unlike that embarrassing tattoo you might eventually get removed, the internet doesn't offer laser surgery for your past. From employers to future partners, anyone with a modicum of curiosity can become a digital detective, piecing together a mosaic of your life that you might rather keep buried. It's not just about what you post either. It's about every time someone tags you in a photo, every comment you make on a public forum, every piece of data collected by the countless apps and websites you interact with daily. We casually click agree to terms and conditions that basically sign over our digital souls, all for the fleeting pleasure of a free game or a slightly more personalized ad experience. Your past self, it turns out, is a relentless stalker, and the internet is its favorite hunting ground. Number 10, the attention economy. Have you ever wondered why every app, website, and social media platform feels like it's in a frantic, desperate competition for your eyeballs? That's because it is. You are the product, and your attention is the currency. We live in a world where the most valuable commodity isn't oil or gold, but your fleeting, easily distracted focus. The internet, in its infinite genius, has mastered the art of hijacking your brain's reward system. Every notification, every like, every new video in your feed is designed to deliver a tiny, addictive hit of dopamine. It's the digital equivalent of a casino slot machine, where you pull the lever, refresh the page, in the hopes of a jackpot, a new post, a funny video, a message from a friend. The longer they can keep you engaged, the more ads they can show you, the more data they can collect, and the more money they can make. But here's the dark side. This constant, frenetic stimulation is actively shortening your attention span. Our brains are being rewired for rapid-fire consumption, making it harder to focus on long-form tasks, read a book, or even have a sustained conversation without the urge to check your phone. We've gone from having a few distractions to living in a world where distraction is the default mode. Number 9. The gamification of everything. Speaking of dopamine hits, let's talk about how the internet has turned your entire life into a game. From earning badges on fitness apps to getting streaks for logging into a language learning program, we're being conditioned to respond to a system of points and rewards. This feels harmless and maybe even helpful on the surface. After all, who doesn't want to be motivated? But it's a sly psychological trick. By turning mundane activities into a game, these platforms can subtly manipulate your behavior. The motivation shifts from internal, I want to learn French, to external, I want to maintain my 100-day streak so the app doesn't shame me. This can lead to a state where you're not doing things because you genuinely enjoy them or because they are good for you, but because you are chasing an arbitrary digital reward. The danger isn't just in the loss of intrinsic motivation. It's in the way these systems can be used to nudge you towards certain products, behaviors, or beliefs, all disguised as fun, harmless competition. We're all just players in a giant corporate-run game, and the rules are designed to benefit the house, not us. Number 8. Online Disinhibition effect. Remember the classic saying, the internet is a great place to be whoever you want to be? That's only half the story. The other, far more unsettling half is that it's a great place to be a complete monster. The online disinhibition effect is a psychological phenomenon where people do and say things online that they would never dream of doing in person. There are a few key reasons for this. First, there's the anonymity, or the feeling of it. When you're not face-to-face with someone, it's easy to forget they're a real person with real feelings. Second, there's the asynchronous nature of online communication. You can fire off a vicious comment and then just log off, never having to face the consequences. This is also called minimization of status and authority, meaning that a stranger on the internet has the same digital power as a president or a celebrity. It's a psychological cocktail that turns perfectly normal people into trolls, cyberbullies, and keyboard warriors, all because the usual social filters and consequences are removed. It's the reason why comment sections are often a cesspool of negativity, and why people will get into screaming matches over something as trivial as a movie plot. The internet is where the polite little gremlin inside all of us gets to come out and play, and it's not pretty. Number 7. The misinformation cascade. Imagine a single piece of fake news, say a celebrity who's not actually dead, as a tiny stone dropped into a calm lake. Now, imagine the internet as that lake. The ripples of that fake news spread outward, amplified by shares, likes, and reposts, until that tiny stone has created a tidal wave of misinformation. This isn't just about people being gullible. It's about how the internet's structure is perfectly designed to spread false information faster and more effectively than the truth. A lie is often simple, scandalous, and emotional, making it more likely to go viral. The truth, on the other hand, is usually complicated, nuanced, and requires a lot of effort to verify. We get a little hit of dopamine when we share something we find shocking or outrageous, and that psychological reward is more powerful than the slow, quiet satisfaction of being factually correct. We're essentially Pavlov's dogs, trained to salivate at the sound of a juicy lie. This isn't just about annoying social media posts. It has real-world consequences, shaping public opinion, influencing elections, and even leading to physical harm. Number 6. The algorithmic rabbit hole. We've all been there. You click on one video, say a cute cat playing a tiny piano. Harmless, right? A minute later, you're watching a documentary on the secret life of raccoons. An hour after that, you've somehow ended up deep in a video about a conspiracy theory involving the pyramids and ancient aliens. This is the algorithmic rabbit hole, and it's a brilliant, insidious creation. The internet's recommendation systems aren't designed to give you what's best for you. They're designed to give you what will keep you watching, clicking, and scrolling for as long as possible. The algorithm, in its quest for maximum engagement, tends to push content that is more extreme, more sensational, and more emotionally charged. It's like a digital drug dealer, starting you off with a seemingly innocent gateway topic before slowly leading you to the harder stuff. You don't consciously decide to go down this path. You just keep clicking the next suggested video because it's right there, beckoning you with a perfectly designed thumbnail and a clickbait title. The real danger here is that these systems can subtly, over time, shift your entire worldview without you even noticing. Number 5. The comparison trap. Scroll through Instagram for 10 minutes and you'll likely see a montage of perfectly curated lives, pristine homes, exotic vacations, chiseled abs, and flawless smiles. This is the internet's comparison trap, and it's a masterclass in psychological manipulation. While you're living your normal messy life, dealing with a pile of laundry, feeling tired, and eating cereal for dinner, you're constantly bombarded with other people's highlight reels. Your brain, in its infinite wisdom, knows you're not seeing the full picture, but your subconscious doesn't care. It sees the perfect photos and begins to make a direct and deeply unfair comparison to your own reality. This can lead to a cocktail of anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem. We've all become editors of our own lives, carefully curating a version of ourselves for public consumption, and then we feel terrible when we see that other people's curated lives look so much better than our own unedited ones. It's a vicious cycle of performative perfectionism and self-inflicted misery. Number 4. The illusion of control. Think about all the options you have on the internet. You can choose what to watch, who to follow, and what to buy. But the reality is, much of this is an illusion. We're being subtly nudged and directed by powerful algorithms that know what we'll do before we do it. They know what we'll click on, what we'll buy, and even what we'll get angry about. This is called choice architecture, and it's all about how the design of a system can influence our decisions. From the way search results are ordered to the recommended for you sections, every element is meticulously engineered to guide you down a path that is most profitable for the platform, not necessarily what is best for you. It's like a digital maze where every path looks different, but they all lead to the same destination: a purchase, an ad, or more engagement. We believe we're in control of our journey, but we're really just being steered by a complex system that knows our psychological weaknesses better than we do. Number 3. Information overload and decision fatigue. We've all been paralyzed by choice. You sit down to watch a movie on Netflix, and after an hour of endless scrolling through thousands of titles and genres, you're so exhausted by the sheer number of options that you just give up and go to bed. This is information overload, and it's a modern epidemic. Your brain, while an incredible supercomputer, can only handle so much data at once. When it's constantly bombarded with an unending stream of articles, videos, and social media updates, it gets tired. This can lead to what's called decision fatigue, a state where the sheer mental effort of processing all this information and making even simple choices drains your cognitive resources. It's the reason you feel so mentally wiped out after a long day online. Your brain is not just absorbing information, it's constantly sifting, analyzing, and trying to make sense of a fire hose of data, and that is a truly exhausting process that leaves you with fewer resources for the rest of your life. Number 2. The parasocial relationship trap. Have you ever felt like you really know a YouTuber, streamer, or podcast host? You know their quirks, their backstory, and their sense of humor. You feel like you're part of their community. This is a parasocial relationship, and it's a one-sided illusion that the internet has supercharged. You feel a genuine connection to someone who has no idea you exist. For them, you are one of thousands or millions of anonymous faces in a crowd. For you, they might feel like a close friend. This isn't inherently bad, but it can be. It can lead to a sense of false intimacy, where you invest your emotional energy in a relationship that is fundamentally not reciprocal. It can make you feel more isolated from your real-life relationships, which are often messy and complicated, unlike the curated one-way interactions you have with your favorite online personalities. It's a psychological sleight of hand that makes you feel connected while you are, in reality, completely alone. Number 1. The loneliness of the hyper-connected. This is the big one. We're more connected than at any other point in human history. We have access to millions of people at our fingertips, from old friends to distant relatives to random strangers on the other side of the planet. So why do so many of us feel more isolated and lonely than ever before? The internet has fundamentally changed the nature of human connection. We've replaced deep, meaningful, in-person interactions with a flood of superficial, low-effort ones. A like on a post isn't a hug. A quick comment isn't a conversation over coffee. We have 1,000 digital acquaintances, but maybe only a handful of true friends we can call when things get rough. The internet creates the illusion of community, a vast digital town square where everyone is talking, but nobody is really listening. We're all shouting into the void, hoping for a tiny bit of validation. And the more we do it, the more we drift away from the messy, imperfect, but ultimately essential connections that make us feel human. We are hyper-connected in a digital sense, and yet, in the most important ways, profoundly alone. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.